Good morning. Rise in freedom. It's Friday. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. I am your guest host this week, filling in for my little brother Austin, who is away on vacation with his wife Stephanie in Japan. They're having a fantastic time. Today I got a picture of Mount Fuji. I was setting up everything this morning on the tech side, and I was like, I'm not getting the chats. I'm not seeing what's going on. I was kind of freaking out this morning because usually the YouTube will show like a prefatory video, like hold placeholder, and it wasn't showing it that this morning. And I was like, what's happening? And I thought, do not end this last show here with drama. Well, at least not my drama. I mean, I'm happy to take on everyone else's drama. Well, not really, but yeah. So glad to see you. Happy Friday. You know, this has been a 2 coffee morning, y'all. This has been a 2 coffee morning. The best part of waking up is in your cup. I'm not going to give them a shout out. I love a good jingle. Don't you remember when we used to have jingles on TV, like in the 80s? I remember I used to have international coffees, right? Celebrate the moments of your life. Oh man, this is how my brain works. Anyway, yeah. So Austin's doing good. He's having a great time. They're sending me really cool pictures of everything happening in Japan. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Quest Fanning's here. Michael Nip is here. Joni Rankin is here. Rare Camellia is here. So great to see everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging in with me this week as I literally take over what feels like a giant cruise ship or something. You know, it's like, hey, you've never cruised a ship before. Come on up in here. Drive the boat. Did your parents ever do that with you when you were a kid? My father would do that to me. We would be driving maybe up the lane where we lived in Missouri in Peculiar. And then he'd go, okay, drive. And he would just like give me the wheel of the car. Nothing like creating a driving phobia in a child to just give them the steering wheel of the car. So that's a little bit of where I've been this week. So yeah, I thought today was going to be so easy. I woke up, I was getting ready for the show yesterday, and I thought, oh, this will be Friday. This will be such an easy day. We'll just do some, light news, some human interest stories, fun. Bam, Trump indicted. And I'm just like, oh no, I have to talk about this tomorrow. So I was like, okay, it's sort of like a bomb went off. But not only in my life, I think in everyone else's life too. So great to see everybody here this morning. Chris Morrill's here. Chaz Sanders is here. He says, oh, wow, you sound like Austin, but if he hit puberty for longer. Yeah, it's probably just morning voice. It's funny because my voice actually goes up higher, but it takes me some time to get there throughout the course of the day. I have to warm up the gift. I have to get the gift warmed up. So it takes a little time. Anyway, yeah. So take some time, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're here, get some coffee, settle in. I promise not to try to bore you this morning with all of this rigmarole, but yeah. So before we kick off, though, I have this amazing quote because I was looking for just lots of information on the whole Trump thing and everything that's going on. And George Washington really did say it best. And I'm going to share this great quote: is the alternate domination of one faction over another, sharpened by the spirit of revenge, natural to party dissension, which in different ages and countries has perpetuated the most horrid enormities, is itself a frightful despotism. But this leads at length to a more formal and permanent despotism. I just love that quote by George Washington, who clearly understood how party enmity would cause political despotism in the United States of America. And George wasn't wrong. He said the right thing. I don't think George, in his farewell address, even wanted political parties. I think he said, hey, let's just run on issues. Let's just talk about that. So we're back to living in unprecedented times again, folks. This is a first for Donald Trump and for the U.S. president, but Donald was indicted on criminal charges by a New York grand jury yesterday. His lawyers and prosecutors have obviously said this. So to call this explosive is sort of like it's a slap in the face to TNT, really, because I think it has a potential to become the defining plot line of the 2024 political presidential race, which obviously Trump is already in. So what's Trump being charged with? No one actually knows. Charges are sometimes kept under wraps until defendants make their first appearance in court, which is known as an arraignment. Trump is expected to be arraigned in New York City next Tuesday, according to CNN. But we do know what the investigation is centered on, which is $130,000 in hush money, which was sent to porn star Stormy Daniels by Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. Daniels claims to have had an affair with Trump, which he denies, along with the allegations that he was involved in paying her to keep quiet. The Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, a Democrat, is accusing Trump and his company of falsifying business records to hide this payment. Now, last I checked, I believe it was like 34 indictments. So I just kind of, I kind of love that they don't know what they're going to charge him with. We got you. We don't know what we got you for, but we got you. An indictment is just the beginning of the process for the government to make a criminal case, and an eventual conviction is no slam dunk. It relies on novel legal theory, which has never been tested in court, I love it. We're just doing experiments. So to prove that Trump committed a felony, prosecutors are going to have to demonstrate that he falsified records to cover up or commit a separate crime. So everybody's been chiming in, which I'll kind of get into a little bit this morning. But the Democrats said the charges show that the U.S. justice system works as designed to hold the powerful to account, and that no one, not even a former president, is above the law. And the Republicans are echoing Trump's rebuttal, claiming that it's a political hit job by the Democrats to weaken his 2024 prospects against President Biden. Trump will likely lean into this witch hunt theme on the campaign trail. So expect to see this now is going to be part of the campaign that's going to happen. Going to be so much fun. Is this a TV show? Are we living in a Netflix special? I just want to know. He's already called the indictment political persecution and election interference at the highest levels in history. So what's going to happen now? Trump is going to arrive in New York next week for his arraignment, and he will be fingerprinted and have a mugshot taken, which clearly, we all know is going to be the most viral picture of all time, because that's just how the internet and social media and all of this stuff is going to work. This could also be the first of several indictments to come through the pipeline for Trump. He's being investigated in 3 other criminal probes, including one over his alleged mishandling of classified documents. Now, listen, Austin, this is why I laugh about this, because Austin is the expert. Well, and y'all are too, sitting here watching the chat. If you're watching this, y'all probably are so much more plugged in. I mean, I'm just a pretty face reporting the news. But, I always feel like, editorializing. I feel like sometimes Democrats seem to play this instant right here, look at this thing right now game, and they don't really look down into the future of where these things could backfire. So, in setting this up, I just really do feel like now it's going to just be open season on using the judicial system to go after your political opponents. It's really sad to me. I think it's a sad day in America. Alvin Bragg here, the Democrat, he ran really on a campaign promise to he was going to get Trump. He didn't know how he was going to get Trump. He was just going to get Trump. It appears that this is a misdemeanor at best, and it also appears that this is also past the statute of limitations. So this whole thing does obviously feel and smell rather political. As I said, it opens a very dangerous precedent in the United States of America, and it's an open season on your political opponents and enemies of the state. Really, any enemy of the state. Let me just look and see what's going on for the chatting this morning. Quest Fanning's here. He's lighting up the chat. Chaz says they're still trying to figure out what they want to charge him with. Crying, laughing emoji. Yeah. The rhinos are doing nothing because they hate what Trump represents. Remember when Quest Fanning, hey, thanks for the super chat. I'm running this chat out of my own personal YouTube account. So I don't have any access to see bing super chats or anything like that coming up. So I'll try to keep an eye on that. He says, remember when the Democrats wanted to run the porn lawyer Avenatti against Trump? Yeah. Exactly. So here we are. So let me kind of run into some of the news articles and things that I've kind of been saved up. So bear with me while I do some magic. I've got magic to do just for you. What musical is that from? Pippin! You're going to get it all this morning. Music and Trump's indictment. We're going to sing our way into the apocalypse. That's my goal. All right. So here we go. So Trump is indicted in Stormy Daniels' hush money case. So again, as I highlighted here, the charges laid out in the indictment remain unclear. Again, Trump's company labeled Cohen's reimbursement of the payment as legal expense and did not disclose them in campaign expense reports. Cohen pleaded guilty in 2018 and served time for his role in the matter on charges related to campaign finance violations and tax fraud. He claimed that Trump directed him to make the payment and that Trump reimbursed him in monthly installments that included a bonus. The payment was made as a part of a non-disclosure agreement as Daniels was prepared to go public with claims she had a sexual relationship with Trump, an affair he denies. Trump has repeatedly dismissed the investigation as a witch hunt and previously called on supporters to protest his arrest. So, yeah, I wanted to read a little bit here. Here's the statement, and I'm always checking my little thing to make sure everything's coming through. Here is Trump's statement made for on his website. Quote, "This is political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. From the time I came down the golden escalator at Trump Tower, and even before I was sworn in as your president of the United States, the radical left Democrats, the enemy of the hardworking men and women of this country, have been engaged in a witch hunt to destroy the Make America Great Again movement. You remember it just like I do. Russia, Russia, Russia. The Mueller hoax. Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Impeachment hoax 1. Impeachment hoax 2. Boogaloo, the illegal and unconstitutional Mar-a-Lago raid, and now this. The Democrats have lied, cheated, and stolen in their obsession with trying to get Trump. But now they've done the unthinkable, indicting a completely innocent person in an act of blatant election interference. Never before in our nation's history has this been done. The Democrats have cheated countless times over the decades, including spying on my campaign, but weaponizing our justice system to punish a political opponent who just so happens to be a president of the United States and by far the leading Republican candidate for president has never happened before, ever. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who was handpicked and funded by George Soros, is a disgrace. Rather than stopping the unprecedented crime wave taking over New York City, he's doing Joe Biden's dirty work, ignoring the murders and burglaries and assaults he should be focused on. This is how Bragg spends his time. I believe this witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden. The American people realize exactly what the radical left Democrats are doing here. Everyone can see it. So our movement and our party, united and strong, will first defeat Alvin Bragg, and then we will defeat Joe Biden, and we are going to throw every last one of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again." So there we go. Ron DeSantis actually had some things to weigh in here as well. So I wanted to share this. This is from the Tampa Bay Times. DeSantis says Florida will not assist in possible Trump extradition after indictment. Ron DeSantis' little statement here, opening up Twitter. Unintelligible boogaloo noises. For real. The weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. It is un-American. The Soros-backed Manhattan district attorney has consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct. Yet, now he is stretching the law to target a political opponent. Florida will not assist in an extradition request, given the questionable circumstances at issue with this Soros-backed Manhattan prosecutor and his political agenda. So this was interesting yesterday. Kind of, I was watching some of the conversations around this, and I think a lot of people were like, "All right, Ron DeSantis." Like, I think people were really enheartened, I guess, maybe to see that DeSantis was not going to extradite him or allow him to work with the system to get him extradited. So I don't know. Are we getting party unity in the Republicans? I don't know. Are we going to see that? I don't know. Okay, and what I thought, this is what I really thought was funny. The New York Police Department has ordered a full mobilization plan. All not uninformed, well, it's uniformed officers, thank you, Justin, read faster, are on standby as extra manpower is deployed to Ring of Steel is deployed to ring of steel around the Manhattan DA's office amid fears of violence after Donald Trump's indictment. So my take on this whole situation with New York City is that New York City is not MAGA country in general. I mean, this is not a part of the country where, people are generally known for being right-wing Republicans. So I don't know, this to me, I guess I'm editorializing, but this feels a little bit like theater. And I think people, I don't know, some people even on Twitter are saying, it's sort of a trap, and they're trying to entrap MAGA supporters to foment some violence. And so, I think this is one of the more silly points of everything. But, this isn't, like I said, this isn't MAGA country. I did want to share this, though, because I thought this was hilariously funny. This is from the New York Post. I'm going to close out all of these so they don't pull on my CPU. Meow, meow, meow. Close. All right, these websites are so ad heavy. They kind of slow down my CPU. Donald Trump indicted in Stormy Daniels' hush money probe. So I scrolled down here and I thought this was so funny. There's a little quote down here from Stormy Daniels, which, you can't make this stuff up. Thank you to everyone for your support and your love. I have so many messages coming in that I can't respond. Also, don't want to spill my champagne, she tweeted. Hashtag Team Stormy merch autograph orders are pouring in too. Thanks. She says, thank you for that as well, but allow a few extra days for shipment. Like, literally what? It's a merch sell. Here's the thing about this that I love. This is so America. It cracks me up. She's like, y'all can get some autographs, but wait a couple days because I'm inundated with orders. Just hilarious, right? Coming down here, it says the charge usually has a 5-year statute of limitations as a felony, but those are extended when a defendant continuously lives out of state, as Trump did during his presidency, the Times reported. The statute of limitations was also extended by more than a year in New York due to the pandemic. So, y'all want to get some Stormy Daniels merch? Hey, I also did some investigation onto this. It's like, well, can he run? I mean, what's the situation with him running? And according to all the research and the resources that I looked at, it said, there's no legal reason why he can't still run and even win the White House, even if he's in prison. Again, what is this timeline we're living in? What is it? The Chinese curse is, may you live in interesting times. Here we are again. So I also wanted to just share some of the reaction from the liberal media on getting Trump. The saying, you can indict a ham sandwich has been, people have been talking about a lot. Speaks to how easy it is for these investigative bodies to dole out charges, especially if that jury is comprised of the most ardent liberals in the country, reviewing whether the former president, one of the most polarizing figures in politics, committed a crime. Trump is anathema to the left. Of course, these people brought into Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's cockamamie legalese that elevated misdemeanors into felony charges. To boot, the statute of limitations had expired for the charges being considered. So this was some of the celebration from the left yesterday. Oh, yeah, Robbie, thank you. Down with capitalism, buy my merch. I love that people are in a capitalist system are still wanting us to buy their stuff. Move on. Obviously, he was like, yes, we're so happy. John Marshall, damn, actually crying. It's a hard knock life. So I guess John June, I haven't watched this. And unfortunately, I can't play it because I can't do any sound with you because I'm not that smart on the OBS yet. But an indictment, or this is from Katrina Vanden Heuvel. Any indictment or conviction would not bar Mr. Trump from running. A clean criminal record is not among the criteria the Constitution sets for who is eligible to be president. Lots of happy tears. But again, here's the thing. I don't understand why they think this is good because they don't think it's going to be used against them. I love that joke, or not joke, but that phrase, I never thought the leopards would eat my face, said the person who voted for the leopards eating people's faces party. It's so short-sighted to me. It seems to be just so short-sighted to celebrate something like this. Any rational American should really be sad about this, because now it means the weaponization of the judicial system. So no good. But I did also want to share this from the Babylon Bee because, I I like, oh, why do I have this on? Let me turn this off. Let me turn off my ad blocker. Please hold. Biden relieved after learning the president being indicted for shady financial dealings. Oh, it's just Trump. We gotta have a little laughter here. We gotta have a little laughter. Yeah. So this is hilarious, but yeah. So and in other news, which I thought this is the real just clincher for me, which was amazing to see, that Nancy Pelosi had tweeted, and I'll see if I can grab this tweet and share it with you. This is what Nancy Pelosi had to say last night. This is just shocking to me. This is truly shocking. The grand jury has acted upon the facts and the law. No one is above the law, and everyone has the right to a trial to prove innocence. Hopefully, the former president will peacefully respect the system which grants him that right. Wow. This is an incredible statement of ignorance. Does she not understand that in the United States of America, we are innocent until proven guilty? People don't go into courts of law to prove innocence. This is a staggering statement. And I'm like, well, is this just the Overton window switching again? Tim Young says, your insider trading has been above the law for your entire career. Sit down. Oopsie. And I love with this too. This says, Ms. Pelosi mistakenly says that Trump can prove his innocence at trial. Law in the U.S. assumes the innocence of a defendant and the prosecution must prove guilt for a conviction. Thank you, law at Cornell University. This is wild. Yeah, just wild. How do you not know how the justice system works and you've been in the system for that long? I think that's just a staggering statement. And then I'm also wondering, is just the shifting of the Overton window? Can we go after Nancy now for her insider trading? Is she off? Are we just going to now do this legislation by judicial fiat? It's really, really, really no good. No good. So, all right, that's Mr. Trump and all of the nutty stuff going on around that. I just thought it was going to be a nice morning. We're going to talk about like kitties or puppies or other kind of nice fun things. Not so. All right. What are people saying in the chat? Andy Opperman's here. Bert Crash is here. Camelia's here. Let's see. Prove innocence. Dark times ahead. Indeed. Absolutely. Elizabeth Press says, boom. Hi, Elizabeth Press. How you doing? I didn't get my martini, or maybe I missed it. I didn't get my morning martini from Elizabeth. She's always so good about giving me a good martini. And this is a good day for martini. So, yes. So there we go with Trump. Now, the next story that you won't see in the news, which I thought was really interesting. Well, kind of disgusting, actually. This is a friend of Pete Buttigieg, who was just indicted on 80 counts of child. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, so I'm not going to say it. A Maryland grand jury has returned an indictment against Democrat College Park Mayor Patrick Wojahn for 40 counts of possession of child and 40 counts of possession with the intent to distribute. Wojahn was arrested shortly after he resigned from his office. According to court documents, Wojahn uploaded the suspected child to the social media website Kick. Video on his arrest can be found below. The resigned mayor, who is gay, has praised Buttigieg's mentorship with his career in interviews. Y'all are giving gay people a bad name. It's definitely, I got my 3 martinis. Oh, don't make me tell my martini joke. You want my martini joke at 8:24? I can't say it. People, I'll get in trouble. It's so déclassé. It's not good. Anyway, well, now I've said it, so I have to say it, right? Martinis are like boobies. 1 is not enough, and 3 is too many. Oh, man. I'm cracking myself up over here. So, yeah, coming back to Mayor's Pete's friend here, this just bothers me so much. 1, because it gives gay people a bad name. So many people who are obviously clearly homophobic already think that gay people are child stuppers. That's my German word of the day. And, then something like this happens and it's like, great, thanks, The New York Post reports, I actually met Mayor Pete Buttigieg shortly after I was elected mayor in 2015. Wojahn, who is gay, told the Washington Blade, an LGBT-focused news outlet, back in 2019. Wojahn explained how the former South Bend, Indiana mayor, who is also gay, was tasked with being his buddy at a gathering of mayors in Washington long before Buttigieg's 2020 White House run. Here's the thing. You won't see this probably in the mainstream press. Why? Because clearly, after the week we've had, we can see that people in certain demographics are protected from scrutiny, where others are not. There there is a bias to selling a narrative that people are just like, okay, here's what I'm talking about. Like this week, the shooter was sold as like, whimsical, nice. They're trying to like repaint the shooter as like a really nice person. And okay, great. Well, Hitler was a great artist, right? Charles Manson, great musician. This weird protectionism has got to go. It's really bothersome to me, because here's the thing. No person in any demographic, people in demographic groups aren't just good by nature of being in the demographic group, like people in all groups do terrible things, and that's just how life goes. We're all capable of great evil. This is always why I laugh at people who put the hate has no home here in front of their sign in front of their house. My therapist and I, we laugh about that all the time because it's ridiculous. Knock on that person's door and then ask them about how they feel about Trump, or ask them how they feel about anti-vaxxers or Republicans or right-wing people, and then just watch the hatred spew out. I'm like, it's such a stupid virtue signaling piece of crap. We're all capable of evil. We can all do terrible things. And clearly, here's the case in point. So anyway, all right, I'm going to take a short commercial break here, and I will be back shortly, about 5 minutes or so. Get yourself some coffee. I've got some other stuff on the pipe for you. The Twitter files, AOC, having a little meltdown with the Libs of TikTok creator, and then some other fun things. I'll talk a little bit later on too about how we got to get some slang terms. So as the coming apocalypse, we got to be hip. So stay tuned. Thank y'all for sticking with me, and I'll see you here after the break.
Were you exposed to hazardous materials while serving in the military and have an illness or condition as a result?
If so, you may be eligible for VA benefits and services.
Whether you need health care or want to file a disability compensation claim related to military exposures, VA is here to help.
Visit va.gov/military-exposures to learn more and apply today.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
If I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors, what would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state, reject the Antichrist. Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins.
Good morning, rise in freedom. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. I am your guest host today, and it's been a great week. My name is Justin Peterson. I'm Austin Peterson's older, wiser, questionable brother. Glad to be here with you. You know, I had to chuckle over the break. I was laughing. I had no idea that I had put on MAGA red today. Oh my God. I just literally was like, oh, you're like literally wearing MAGA red right now. So that's hysterical. And also weirdly apropos of today's news, I just had to laugh about that. So hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you guys are having a great Friday already. This is, again, marks my last day here with you all on the Wake Up America show as your guest host. You know, it's been a trip and a half. It's been a wild learning curve, I will say. Austin had emailed me, I want to say a couple weeks ago, and said, you want to be my host? And my first reaction was to say, absolutely not. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I said, you know, who's making that decision? Where's that no coming from? Is that no coming out of fear? Is that no coming out of don't have time, don't have the bandwidth? And I said, I think it's fear. So this year, 2023, was my year to sort of say no to fear and stop making decisions based on fear. So if there's something in your life today that you are, you know, thinking about doing or want to do, but maybe there's a little bit of a fear there, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you today to step up to the plate and do it. When I was a kid, my grandmother Rose, my dad's mom, would read me this book. Maybe I'll remember it. It was Grover and the Monster at the End of this book. Do you remember that story? This was probably like the 80s, right? So grandma would read that book, and the story is that Grover sees the title of the book right as you turn the first page, and it goes, monster at the end of the book. No, if you keep turning pages, there's going to be a monster. So one of the messages of the book is you keep turning pages, and Grover keeps trying to stop you, you know, from turning pages. He's like, stop it. So he builds a brick wall. He tries to tie the pages together. And finally you get to the end of the book, and there is no monster at the end of the book. It's just sweet, lovable Grover. And it's almost Buddhist, that book, really, because you realize the things in life that scare you are mainly only in your imagination. But it's a hard lesson to learn, isn't it? So fear it sucks, you know, and I like to tell people, kids that I work with who do work in performing and things, fear is allowed to be in the car. It's got to be in the car, but it's not allowed to drive. And I talked to a therapist this week who said, fear can be in the trunk. I said, even better. But it's in the car, but it's in the trunk, So just if there's something you're afraid of in your life, just don't be afraid. Yeah, you're going to feel the fear, but just do it anyway. And honestly, the other thing that helps, find people in your corner. Find people that will cheer you on no matter what, and find people that love you no matter what. That's so important to have those people to say, hey, you can do it. You've got this. There have been some people this week that have been so great to me. Camellia has been awesome. She reached out to me on Monday and was super kind. And y'all have been so nice in the chats. It's really bolstered my, not my ego, but my courage, to feel really good about doing this. So thank you guys so much for everything, really. It's just been a great week, and I've had a lot of fun. Wanted to share this tweet with you that I saw from sort of a disaffected liberal, because I just think it's so good. Okay, coming over here, transition. All right, this is a great quote. I don't know this person. I just saw this tweet yesterday, and some of the people, some of the people that I follow on Twitter had shared this, and I was just like, I just love this. I really don't like living through historical periods like this. Girl, same. Culturally, I have far more in common with coastal progressives. These are the people I've worked with and gone to school with my whole life. I'm an agnostic atheist. Socially, I'm generally extremely liberal. Legalize all drugs, marry who you want, etc. I used to laugh off their political and social excesses as them simply being misguided cultural descendants of the 60s counterculture. But it's different now. The highly flawed Donald Trump scared the shit out of these people because he represented the white-hot anger of middle America, the giant mass of the white working class who the coastal liberal elite have treated with derision, disdain, and dismissal for the last 30-plus years or so. The hippy-dippy progressive descendants of the 60s counterculture have wholeheartedly embraced all the tools of brutal authoritarian statecraft they have at their disposal now. A mass digital censorship propaganda apparatus they are openly in front of our eyes attempting to formalize and institutionalize to use against the unwashed masses should they rise up again. They also have shock troops, groups designed to violently intimidate people into politically falling in line. They are radicalized in colleges and higher education. Groups like BLM are allowed to burn and terrorize cities, and radical gender theorists now openly talk about genocide being perpetrated by Christians for simply wanting to be in charge of their children. They are whipping up violent leftist brown shirts, essentially, in order to enforce their regime. This is a sickening time in American history. I don't like living through neo-Maoist cultural revolutions. They do not end well historically. Boy, I just am so in response to this as a person who got off the train and got red-pilled several years ago. This just really responds to me, because don't think for a minute that there aren't people that are on the left that are rational, well thought out, intelligent people who are not also seeing what's going on and what's happening, because they are. And it's, we're really, we're living through a very uncomfortable time. And boy, oh boy, you got to stay positive. You got to stay positive. I always think, even in the direst situations of the world, people have risen up in spirit to find beauty and to find love and to find connection. I don't know if you all know this, but in the camps in the Second World War, one of the projects undertaken by the prisoners was to do a Verdi Requiem, which is a musical composition. So, even in the direst circumstances, we long for art, we long for beauty, we long for music, places to be, to find solace. So, when you're feeling a certain way, I hope you've got a great Spotify playlist of tunes that you can go to lift your spirit, make yourself, feel really good. Find the joy, and I've often to joke that I'm like, I feel like I need to have my Walden Pond moment. If y'all don't know that story, it's by Henry David Thoreau, where he goes out and lives in a shack by the woods or by the pond in the forest to just kind of get away from everybody. I think that's not a bad idea. It's a good idea to get away from people once in a while. So yeah. In other news, in the political discord, let's look at this. AOC storms away from Libs of TikTok creator on Capitol Hill. I can't play the sound for this, but there is captioning here. So this is Chaya Rajcik. I'm not going to say her name correctly, but she went to see her, and she says, "You're actually super transphobic, and I never want to share a space with you. Thank you." And she just kind of bounces out. I mean, this looks like something that goes on in a high school, right? Rajcik on Thursday posted a video that was filmed by the right-leaning Heritage Foundation. The Libs of TikTok creator confronted Ocasio-Cortez after the two bumped into each other in the congressional building. "You're actually super transphobic, and I never want to share space with you," the New York congresswoman angrily told Rajcik in the clip before walking away. "Thank you," Ocasio-Cortez says in the clip as she gestures to a nearby cell phone camera which captured the dramatic exchange. Again, look at our political discourse. I mean, it's literally like something out of Heathers, or Mean Girls. It's this sort of infantilization of our political discourse just drives me absolutely nuts. "Oh, Camellia likes Thoreau. He's really good. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined." That's one of my favorite quotes of his. I don't think I said it right, but there we go. All right, so now it's 8:41. Here are some things that are really let's just get some comedy going. According to the TSA, peanut butter is now liquid. So, if you're going to bring some Skippy on your next vacation, you better pack it in your checked baggage, because if you get hungry for a little bit of that sweet peanut butter taste in flight, you're going to have problems. So you better get, just know it's a liquid. Peanut butter is a liquid. The TSA classified items you can spill, spread, spray, pump, or pour as needing to be 3.4 ounces or smaller to fit into that 311 bag. There's been no change in the categorization of any of these items, including peanut butter, which is a spreadable offense. And thus falls under the 3.4 ounce limit. The TSA noted that the categorization was established in 2006, so there has been no change since this rule was established. So just making sure you're all covered out there. If you're going to go to the airport and your peanut butter is over, 3.4 ounces, you better check that stuff. Check it. All right. Now, another news, a male powerlifter, has broken a record to protest Canada's woke gender self-ID laws by saying he's a woman, and he entered the female contest and he smashed the bench press record. So he goes in, bearded Avi Silverberg is shown calmly approaching the bench in men's clothing as part of a protest against gender self-identification policies in sport. Silverberg then unofficially breaks the female bench press record for the 84 plus kilograms women's category, which was a 270 pound press. Try to say that 5 times fast. Officially set by a trans lifter. So here's where the comedy makes me just giggle. The trans lifter took the record from a biological woman, and so now this guy, clearly a biological male, presenting as a biological male, comes in, self-IDs, and then takes it from the trans winner. So, I mean, as I can say without any shock, there's always a bigger fish. So this just cracked me up this week, this story. Yeah, just really, really funny. All right, so now, in closing out today, I wanted to talk about, also, before I get to this story, this next story, she's Gwinnessent. Gwyneth Paltrow she won her ski accident trial. So I think she's going to get $1 million in damages from the trial. So just thought you all would want to know. Just think you all would want to know that. So, all right. So one of my final story here today is this 15 teen slang phrases that y'all should know about, because if you're anything like me, you want to be hip. You want to just be with it. You want to be plugged in. You want to know the stuff. So here are 15 slang terms Gen Zers are using in 2023 and what they really mean. So sorry if there's laggy. There's just so much going on with these websites. I'm trying to get them out of here. All right. Okay. The speed slang spreads through social media and it poses a challenge for anybody trying to keep up. So here we go. The first term we're going to use is it's giving, right? This is a term that's going to be used a way to compare something or someone to another person or a thing, or to positively describe the overall vibe of a person or a thing. So for example, her outfit is giving 2012. In this context, the subject's outfit is being compared to an outfit that might have been worn in 2012. Her outfit is giving. In this context, giving is used on its own and carries a positive connotation. The subject's outfit is being complimented. Now, another version of giving that I have seen is also serving. Like, ooh, it is serving 2012, or it is serving. So it's sort of the same idea. All right, a fit check describes the act of reviewing one's outfit. On TikTok, influencers often post their fit check, in which they announce the brand of each article of clothing that they're wearing. I need to do a fit check before I leave for the party. Slay! That's hella gay, describes something impressive or more generally something positive and can be used as a noun or as an expression of admiration. This is, I think, a term that really largely jumped out of the gay community, and especially like RuPaul's Drag Race. So that, this term comes out of that. Her performance at the Grammys was a slay, or slay girl. Yeah, see, look, so I was saying, the term emerged during the 1970s and 80s amid black drag and ballroom culture. So yeah, that's where it came from. The term era follows its typical meaning, but it is accompanied by a word or phrase that is that describes an activity or event by which the period was defined. I'm in my fitness era. I've been to the gym every day for the past month. I don't use this term very much, so that's the first time I've ever seen that. A gatekeeper tries to control who has access to knowledge and opportunities. I see this all the time. Do y'all see this on social media? Gatekeepers or gatekeeping. You're gatekeeping this or you're gatekeeping that. He wouldn't tell me where he got those sneakers. He's such a gatekeeper. So gatekeeping. Lit is an adjective either used to describe a fun, high energy situation or someone who is intoxicated. So this is BS, because this term, lit, goes all the way back to at least the first time I'd ever heard of it is a movie from 1958. One of my favorite movies of all time, which if you haven't seen it, it's hysterical. I make everyone watch it, is Auntie Mame from 1958, starring Rosalind Russell. So freaking funny. But at the end of the movie, she invites her nephew's girlfriend's family to her home in her apartment in New York, and it serves them these really, really fancy drinks that she actually lights with a match. So they're in these like metal drinking glasses, and remember those, like when we used to have metal drinking glasses? She would light the drink on fire, so there would be like this flame, and she called these drinks the Flaming Mame. And then so after she got everybody's alcohol turned on, she goes, "All right, are we all lit?" Which is just one of my favorite laugh lines in a movie. But yeah, this lit is old. The new context, I think, of it, though, is when something's like really, really cool. A situationship is a romantic relationship that isn't quite a full-on relationship. We haven't talked about our feelings or anything. We're keeping it casual. It's just a situationship. That's new to me. To ghost someone, oh my gosh. In our cultural time, nothing makes me more insane than ghosting. To ghost someone is to stop replying to their texts or calls, often without explanation. In my day, we just called that rude. We just called that rude. A person with riz, a term derived from charisma, is charming and puts themselves out there. The term is often used when referring to someone who can confidently and successfully pursue a potential romantic partner. That guy has riz. He can get any girl he wants. And here's a picture of Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian at the 2022 Met Gala. Touch grass. Oh, this is one of my new favorite ones. I saw this a lot on Twitter. Touch grass is said to people who seem to spend too much time online and could benefit from going outside. Facts. What I really like about touch grass is that we're living in a time now where you can almost tell by the way people talk who lives online and who lives in the real world. There are so many beliefs and ideological viewpoints, I think, now that are spread by meme and memetics in the online Twitter sphere versus people that are like living their actual day-to-day lives in the real world. So I just love this touch grass. If something is living rent-free in your mind, it means it's extremely funny, amusing, or otherwise particularly memorable. Not really. That's a terrible definition. Rent-free means like, if you're thinking about somebody, let's say you have an ex, and like you can't stop thinking about them. Well, they're living rent-free in your mind. There's nothing funny about that, but it's just somebody who's like taking up space in your mind, and they're not sort of, paying any rent, if you will. So stop thinking about that. Vibe check is usually used spontaneously to check in on someone to see how they're doing. Can I get a vibe check? I've never heard this ever. I saw this, I think, on TikTok, where they would do this, and like then they would like show off their clothes, or like with their, with their boyfriends, or do something like that. T, okay, this is gay. T refers to gossip or a piece of intriguing personal information. Spilling tea is the act of disclosing a piece of gossip. Yeah, that totally comes out of the gay community. She just told me all about their breakup. Spill the tea. Yeah. Bop is a term for a great song. Cardi B's new single is a bop. Oh, no. To act like a main character is to behave in a self-indulgent or self-absorbed manner. She won't stop talking about herself. She thinks she's the main character. Another variation of the term is main character syndrome. He always needs to be the center of attention. He has main character syndrome. I don't know if y'all have ever known anybody with main character syndrome. I have. And it's fascinating because one of the things that main character syndrome people do is they will try to sell their difficulties as like a journey. Like if they break up with someone, they'll usually be like, oh, I had to like find myself and go on a journey. And I'm like, that's just a classic example of main character syndrome, because they're trying to like minimize their sort of part in the breakup and sort of say, oh, it's a journey. I'm going on a journey. Everything's a journey. It's like I keep thinking about Schitt's Creek, where they go, oh, I love that journey for you. Oh, y'all. All right. So I think I'm coming to the end of my sesh here with y'all today. I have been sharing throughout the week at the end of the live streams, books that have really been, not inspirational, but just really thought-provoking to me as I've gone through my sort of red-pilling situation. And the final book that I wanted to share with you today is a book that I really have enjoyed a lot. It is, and I have to switch it over here, but now don't get your hackles up. Everybody calm down. Take a breath. But the book is called Why Liberalism Works: How True Liberal Values Produce a Freer, More Equal, Prosperous World for All. So before you kind of think liberal and sort of think leftism, really what the author is talking about is classic liberalism here. She's talking about all of the foundational principles of our governance, free speech, tolerance, sort of all those things that I went into detail on Monday about in terms of my own political beliefs and principles. One of the interesting things about this that I love about this book, and I shouldn't love it, but I think in the times that we live in, I think it does play a part, is that the author is transgender. Deirdre Nansen McCloskey is a transgender economist, and boy, I've been on a really cool rabbit hole of watching her videos and everything that she has to say. She's been on with Dave Rubin. She's been on different lecture circuits and things. I mean, when you sit and listen to her, like she holds forth. And so it's been really, really fascinating to sort of find this book and to learn more about why liberalism really works. So yeah. All right, y'all. It's been a week. I can't believe we're winding down here to the end of the hour. I have really enjoyed this. This has been a challenge. One of the things I've noticed about live streaming versus like maybe making a video on YouTube or something is there's a lot of research and preparation and everything that goes in on the front end of these things. And then once it's over, it's kind of like, okay, it's over. Whereas like a video on YouTube will have like editing process after you make the video, and there's all these things that go into it. So this really kind of, to me, resembles more of like being on stage and being in theater and kind of just having to improvise. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but at least I feel like it's somewhat in my wheelhouse. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Mary Kramer, thank you for being here. Elizabeth Press, Camellia, A.L. Wild, east of Omaha, which reminds me of Mutual of Omaha. A.L. Wild is here. Robbie's here. I think I said Tolly Owens in here earlier. Just wanted to say really, really thank you guys. Thank you for welcoming me into this work. I am not a pundit. I don't sit around and like do what Austin does, which he does so brilliantly. You know, and anytime I have a question about something, I'll kind of go, Austin, what do you think about this? You know, because he's such a big brain person. And I'm just really proud of what he's doing here. If you get a chance, check out the AP for Liberty shop. They've got lots of really cool stuff over there. I did order a shirt this week. I hope it comes I think it's coming tomorrow. But I've just been really, really grateful. I'm gonna switch over here. Transition. I've just been really, really grateful here to be with all y'all this week. Thank you for opening your hearts and minds and mornings to be with me. You know, it's been an experiment in terror, but one that I'm really glad that I took on. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Do something nice for yourself today. In the midst of all the crazy, put on some fun music, dance a little dance, enjoy the day, get out in the sunshine if you can. If it's raining, you know, sorry. But just enjoy everything today. Take some time to really relax and have a great weekend. Also it's Sunday's Palm Sunday. So to those who celebrate, have a great time. And then the following is Easter Sunday. So Christos anesti, as they say in Greek. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Yeah. Good to see you. Thank you guys so much. Woo! I'm just going to get out of here and enjoy my weekend. Take care of yourselves. A million thanks. Appreciate y'all and take care. Love y'all. Bye.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today.
Fire.
Your printing company stinks. They charge you too much money and they don't love America enough. We've got the solution. Patriot Printing USA. Whether you're running for office, saving souls, or just need business cards that will get you the new job you've been looking for, Patriot Printing USA has got you covered with the best prices around. Palm cards, brochures, bumper stickers, door hangers, you name it, we've got it. PatriotPrintingUSA.com. That's PatriotPrintingUSA.com.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.